that Yokai Watch 2 will be a huge phenomenon in the West, and he says the series can still be as successful here as it is in Japan. The first game launched in the West to mediocre sales, but he says that he thinks that they're following the same trend here as it did in Japan, where it really only took off with Yokai Watch 2. Specifically, he says they need to change the messaging so Western markets see what aspects of the series are familiar and appealing, rather than publish the game as is. I can only assume what he means by that is the yokai, because that's obviously the whole point of the game, but the idea of yokai was already a thing in Japan for centuries, whereas here nobody knows what the a yokai is.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant problem, but he is right in saying that the first game didn't... I mean, it sold well, but it didn't, dominate the Japanese charts. If I remember right, the second game actually broke 1 million sales either before or, right at the exact same time as the first game. And that was partly aided because it launched in 2 different versions, but it just sold way better out the gate than the first one. And I suppose sort of brand recognition and establishing themselves with the anime and everything like that, really helped them to be in a stronger position for the second game. Yeah. So maybe they can see more success with Yokai Watch 2 in the States, follow that same pattern, but I highly doubt it's going to reach Japan's numbers. Because like you said, Pokemon, that's something that anyone could get into, but yokai... no one in the West really knows what that
The
means.
idea of animals is appealing to the entire world. The idea of yokai, really only Japan gets it.
I kind of question the idea that it could even become a, quote, huge phenomenon, because when you think about gaming phenomenon, there are things that really kind of change gaming culture, and I don't really see Yokai Watch having that effect. It could be a pretty big seller, but it's not going to be this thing that takes the gaming world by storm.
Sure.
I don't think that's even possible.
Sure. But I don't know, with game names like Bony and Fleshy, who knows? Hello everybody, thank you for listening to this Nintendo Week clip, NWC. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to us here on YouTube for more highlights and discussion videos from Nintendo Week podcast, or subscribe to us on iTunes for weekly breakdowns of all your Nintendo news, discussion segments on subjects, games, and more, and tons of other features. Thanks for listening, and we will see you tomorrow with another NWC.